Hello, I'm Brindon Addy from Addys Butchers at Hade Edge near Holmfirth, and today I'm going to explain to you about dry aging of beef. As with all the meat that we sell here, we offer full traceability, and so we label all the beef up as it comes in. So it comes in with an ear tag label like this. So this carcass tag will tell us its ear tag number, its weight or its carcass weight, its grade, the fact that it was a heifer, the breed, which is a Limousin Cross Angus, and our name, the date it was born, the kill date, and when we write on the back the producer's name, and in this case it was Mick Wynn. Dry aging is taking the carcass and hanging it in a dedicated maturation fridge where we control the airflow, the temperature, the humidity and the period of time that it's in there, and we find that 21 days is the ideal length of time to dry age a piece of beef. During dry aging, the meat fibres break down and moisture is lost, so the flavour becomes more intense and the meat becomes more succulent. We find that when you're dry aging meat, you need an animal that has more carcass fat. A lean animal doesn't hang as well as one with a little bit of cover on. We dry age basically a pistola hind, so that's your top sides, your silver sides, your rumps, your sirloins and your fillets. The forequarter, which this is, we bone that out and that goes into the shop that week for sale, because this is all going to be stewed, with the exception of the forerib or the crop, which is this, the rib of beef. We cut this off, label it up and we put that in the maturation fridge, which is what I'm going to show you now. So we're now in the maturation fridge where we mature the ribs of beef. They're all in date order with the freshest going down to the oldest. Everyone's tagged up. In this room we control the humidity, the temperature and most importantly it's got to be as clean as possible. It's got to be as high standards of hygiene that we can possibly manage. So this is the rib of beef that we've just taken off some fresh beef from this week. So obviously the kill date of that was the 20th of the 1st. So it's fresh, bright, pink meat. You can see how it's moist and it's bright. A lot of supermarket meat looks like this. It won't look quite as nice as this, but it looks bright and fresh. The meat is springy and elastic, so it's not tender. The fibres haven't broken down and it hasn't lost a lot of its moisture. This one was killed the previous week, again with a traceability tag. We can tell you that the farmer was Ken Tinker, we can tell you what breed it was, we can tell you the date it was born, we can tell you the date it was killed, and obviously by knowing which farmer it was we can tell what it was fed. As you can see, this one is just starting to look a little bit darker. Still a little bit moist but not as moist, and that's at 7 days in the maturation fridge. Going on again, traceability tag again, so we can trace through which farmer it was, where it was fed, where it came from, when it was born, when it was killed. Again, drier again, a little bit of darker. It's now got a different touch to it. It now feels firmer, but you know, your finger can be more tender, but it's not as springy. And then this one now has been in the fridge for 3 weeks. The farmer was Ken Tinker and it was killed on the 30th of the 12th, and it was a Limousin Cross Angus animal. This is almost black, a little bit of fur on the outside, doesn't look particularly appetising, but wait till we cut into it. So we're going to rib-eye this, so we're going to seam off again using the seaming technique of using the natural seams in the animal. And we're now lifting the rib-eye off the ribs. Okay, so we've now removed the rib-eye from the rib of beef, and once we face that up, you can see what a beautiful piece of meat that is. You've got the marble in there, which comes from the breed of the animal and what it's been, and the fact that it's well fed, but you've got a lovely succulent piece of meat. So there's obvious advantages to the eating quality of dry aging your beef. One is that the meat is more succulent, it is more flavoursome, and it has a much better bite to it. The disadvantages are, as a butcher we need to hold 3 times the amount of stock that we would normally. We also need to have the cash flow to carry 3 times the amount of stock, and the biggest issue is the wastage, because we're facing the meat up and trimming it, and the drip loss that we get. It makes it a much more expensive product, but in my opinion well worth it.